There's a wealth strategy that actually works. It's been proven over and over again by Rockefeller, by Buffett, and by every billionaire who's kept their fortune for decades. But nobody talks about it. Not on YouTube, not in books, not at conferences. And the reason nobody talks about it? Because it takes 40 years. And in a world obsessed with getting rich quick, with passive income, with shortcuts and hacks, nobody wants to hear that real wealth takes 4 decades to build. But that's the truth. And if you can accept it, if you can actually commit to it, you'll be wealthier than 99% of people who are still chasing the next trend. Here's the problem with most wealth advice. It's designed to sell you something, a course, a system, a secret, and to sell it, they have to promise fast results. Get rich in 6 months. Build passive income in 90 days. Financial freedom by next year. It sounds good. It gets clicks. It makes money for the person selling it, but it doesn't work for you. Because real wealth doesn't happen fast. It happens slowly, it happens quietly, and it happens over decades. And that's not sexy. It's not cool. You can't make a viral video about it. You can't package it into a weekend seminar, so nobody talks about it. But the people who actually build generational wealth, they all follow the same 40-year strategy. And today, we're going to break down exactly what that looks like. Before we dive in, I want you to save this video, bookmark it, email it to yourself, whatever you need to do, but I want you to hold on to it because this is one of those things you're going to want to come back to as you build real wealth. Okay, let's go. Most people think wealth building starts with investing. It doesn't. It starts with earning. The first 10 years of the 40-year strategy aren't about getting rich. They're about building the skills that will make you valuable. Learning how to sell, how to manage people, how to understand money, how to solve problems that matter. This is the decade where you're supposed to struggle, where you work jobs you don't love, where you make mistakes, where you figure out what you're actually good at. Most people skip this part. They want to jump straight to passive income, to investing, to making money while they sleep. But wealthy people know you can't skip the learning phase, because without high-income skills, you have nothing to invest. The first 10 years are about increasing your earning power, from $20,000 a year to $40,000 a year, or from $40,000 a year to $80,000, and $80,000 to $150,000. Not through shortcuts, through hard work, through skill building and learning. And here's what most people miss. The money you make in this decade isn't the point. The skills you build are the point, because those skills will compound for the next 30 years. By year 10, something shifts. You're not a beginner anymore. You have skills, you have income, you understand how value works. And now, the second phase begins, building and investing. This is the decade where you start making serious money, not passive income, not crypto gains, but serious, reliable income from skills you've spent 10 years developing. And here's where the strategy really kicks in. You don't spend it. Most people hit this phase and immediately upgrade their life. A bigger house, a nicer car, and fancier vacations. And they think they're winning, but they just lock themselves into higher costs for the next 30 years. Wealthy people do the opposite. They don't spend every raise, they keep their lifestyle the same, and they invest the difference. Maybe it's $50,000 more a year, maybe it's $100,000. They're not chasing risky stuff or trends. They choose boring, steady investments that grow over time. And this is where patience comes in, because for a long time, it won't feel like much is happening. Year 11 still looks pretty quiet, but year 15 might get you to 500,000. By year 20, you could hit 1 million. It's not flashy, and it's not fast, but it does work. Now, here's where the magic happens. You've been investing for 20 years. You have 1 million, or maybe 2 million, in assets. And now those assets start making real money. Not because you changed what you're doing, but because time is finally doing the heavy lifting. A $2 million portfolio earning 8% makes about $160,000 a year. And you didn't have to work more hours to get it. That's more than most people earn at their job. And here's the key. You're still working. You're still earning a paycheck. You're still investing. So that $160,000 gets added back in. Next year, it's $2.16 million and makes about $172,000. And then the next year, it's $186,000. And then the year after that, it's $201,000. This is when people start to notice that they see you living the same way you always have, but they don't see the money quietly growing in the background. They don't realize you're about to cross into real wealth, not because you got lucky, but because you were patient. Now, it's year 30, you might have 5 or 10 million. At 8%, that's $400,000 to $800,000 a year. More than you need and more than you spend. And you're still in your 50s or 60s. You've got decades ahead of you. This is when wealth becomes generational. Your kids don't have to start from zero. You can support causes you care about. You have real freedom, not the fake kind, not quitting your job with only $50,000 saved. Real freedom the kind where money isn't a constant worry. And here's the part most people never hear. It didn't take genius, it didn't take luck, and it didn't take one big breakthrough. It took doing boring things over and over again for 40 years, earning, saving, investing, and waiting. That's it. Most people don't fail because this is hard. They fail because it's boring, and we live in a world that hates boring. So why isn't this strategy everywhere? Why isn't every financial guru teaching it? Simple. You can't sell a 40-year plan. Nobody's going to buy a course called Get Rich in 40 Years. Nobody's going to click on a video titled The Boring Strategy That Works. Nobody wants to hear that success takes 4 decades. They want to hear 10 times your income in 6 months, retire by 30, how to have a 4-hour work week. This one trick is the secret to millions. So that's what gets sold. The shortcuts, the hacks, the secrets. And 99% of people buy into it. They chase the quick wins. They jump from strategy to strategy. They waste 20 years looking for the shortcut. Meanwhile, the 1% who accept the 40-year strategy, they just keep going year after year, quietly building. And by the time everyone else realizes there is no shortcut, these people are already wealthy. The strategy isn't hidden, it's just ignored because it requires something most people don't have: patience. The strategy we've discussed looks like this. Learn valuable skills, invest and build assets, let time do its job, and stay consistent. That's the entire plan in a nutshell. That's it, no hacks, no secret moves, just showing up and sticking with it. And you know what? Most people won't do it. They'll spend decades chasing the next fast win, jumping from one idea to the next, and wondering why nothing ever sticks. Don't be one of those people. Be willing to stay patient. If you can ignore the noise and keep building, time will do what nothing else can. Save this video. Come back to it when you hit a new phase, or anytime you need a reminder of what actually works. Real wealth doesn't come from finding shortcuts, it comes from not looking for them. And this path has been working for a very long time.